So the newest episode of TYT is out, that is episode 56. And I have no idea what I have just watched. Like, I can somewhat forgive the other episodes for slight continuity errors and slight spoiling about Make You Mark, but this episode straight up spoiled almost the entirety. That is the potential finale and defeat of opening we all have been waiting for since the start of Make You Mark. Like, when I watched it, I just sat there being confused through the whole episode, wondering myself, are they literally doing this? And if it's all just a bad dream? And when the episode concluded, I was just dumbfounded. It pretty much tells the entire finale, but worse. Like, why didn't they just wait after chapter 6 to release it, instead of just flat out spoiling us so early? And you probably might say, maybe they just don't have enough episodes or something. Well, they wouldn't have had this issue if they just released all the recent episodes bi-weekly. I wouldn't even mind if they just don't release any episodes for a few weeks until the appropriate time. Whatever the reason for this decision might have been, it was a huge mistake. I know some people will like or even love this episode for being a finale episode full of action and emotion, and also feeling like a very small movie, but this story just doesn't work for a 5-minute short, especially when it's released before the episode it's based on, making the episode even worse than it already is. Like, everything about this episode just feels half-assed, except the animation, which is one of the few things I saw great effort in. This might be the best animation of any Telltale episode. Despite that though, this still doesn't really save this episode for how badly executed it is. I guess another positive I could say is that opening finally feels more like a threat than last time, by stealing all cutie marks instead of just one per day. She also is trying to be funny, which kinda tones her down a bit since it's a finale. I know it's Telltale and all, but it's not even that funny to begin with. Like, forget everything I said about her improving comedically. Also, by the way, she has controlled the dragons, but they didn't do anything. And despite me giving props to the animation earlier, opening is being way too exaggerated. I know she's a very cartoony villain in the show, but her expressions look way too off. But the moment that really baffled me is how she got the cutie marks from the main 6, and basically becoming Thanos. For some reason, each of the main 6 are just facing her alone as if they have a chance, instead of gathering together with Sunny to face her. I'm sure Make You Mark will provide some context, that maybe Opening was trying to get each one separately instead of all of them together, or maybe they want to distract her to give Sunny some time or something, I don't know. But because we are missing the context, our characters just come off as idiots. Besides that, the final showdown and Opening's defeat were cool at least. But again, it feels way too rushed with the song, which I hope will be longer in chapter 6, cause I do like that song. So that was episode 56, and yeah, I was not that pleased with it. This short just spoiled almost everything that is probably the most important and most weighted episode in the series, in the most poorly executed way. Yes, not everything in this will happen and Make You Mark, but the main parts definitely will, including some other out of context stuff, like Opening controlling the dragons, stealing all cutie marks, finding out Misty's betrayal, and Opening's defeat. Just like all the other recent episodes, it could have easily avoided all the main criticisms if it were released after chapter 6. So yeah, anyways, sorry if I sounded more critical than I usually do. As you all know, I usually try to be somewhat fair to G5, but ever since chapter 5, I really started to struggle with it. Mainly with Telltale, which I have been praising for over a year. And even despite the continuity issues of the recent episodes, I still have been more nicer to these episodes than most others have been. But this episode has really crossed the line for me, and it really makes me worried of what is to come for chapter 6. But on a fair note, there still are some things that do give me at least some hope, like the songs. And I'm not as angry at the episode now as I first watched it. But my criticisms still stand since it came out before the episode it was based on. Anyways, that's it for the video, and please let me know your thoughts in the comments. See y'all next time. Auf Wiedersehen.